What is up, everybody? I hope you guys enjoyed that amazing first set between Florida Gulf Coast and UH Premier. Now it's time for set 2 of this Florida Gulf Coast big run between Thunderbirds and WPI Grizzco Workers Union. I'm Keon. I'm joined by a graduate of WPI, Neptune. We got a fun one ahead of us, Neptune.
Yeah, we have a very interesting game here today. So WPI Grizzco's Worker Union is going to be trying to put down the streak that Thunderbirds already started here. They already got the ball rolling, they're warmed up, and they're ready to go. But let's see how these matches turn out tonight, Keon.
Yeah, for sure. I'm gonna quickly touch base here. WPI Grizzco Workers Union, they're still, I believe, looking for their first set win of the season here in Florida Gulf Coast, looking to continue this amazing run after the first set, of course. And they're trying to queue into the second set. They wasted no time. We're on to Inkblot Art Academy in tower control. Let's see what both these teams dish out.
Yeah. Grizzco Worker Union is known for some of their more unconventional weapon picks, so we'll see what we have here. Okay, they're sticking with what they had for the first set here, and now, okay, the NZAP 89 and Tri-Stringer coming out on Grizzco Worker Union side. What do you think of these comps here, Keon?
I mean, with these comps right now, I absolutely like the balance that I'm seeing with WPI there. You got the slosh machine, at least with the Booyah Bomb. Definitely a lot of range to work with, and then you also have that splash and the NZAP 89 to help complement things. 3 members, however, do drop.
All the members dropped. That was a soft wipe. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, the Florida Gulf Coast Thunderbirds, they didn't wasted no time whatsoever. They're on to the first checkpoint, and WPI having to play from behind right away. They're past that first checkpoint. WPI is stuck behind at the moment.
Yeah, definitely. They're definitely struggling to find their ground here, but as you see right now, the tower is going in their favors, but hey, you know what? Thunderbirds can just hold mid and just pressure them with a lot of their weapons here. That jump out there, that was actually pretty smart, considering all the pressure that was coming out from all these specials being thrown out here. Killer whales, chumps, everything, you name it. It is being tossed out here, but no, Marsh is going to show off the L3 nozzle nose D and just get a pick with 2-3! 3 people fall to the L3. Okay, 3 L's taken.
My goodness, the legend of Marsh continues on. Marsh is just going off on this L3 right now, and WPI is just stuck behind. Florida Gulf Coast entering the second checkpoint. Here comes the stamp. Can Marsh strikes again? They do trade with Garrett though, and Florida Gulf Coast having to play a little bit from behind. They do take down to 55 points remaining. All things said and done, WPI with a nice defensive hold.
Yeah, definitely. This is definitely really favored towards Thunderbirds right here. They're just able to sit back and get control of mid here, because any attempt to get the tower or get control of mid, Thunderbirds have done a really good job just keeping Worcester Polytechnic Institute outside of mid.
Yeah, and just a lot of brawling right now. We do see the Thunderbirds, they dropped 3 already, and WPI, this is maybe with the drop of this 3, as they pop the crab's trying to pressure out the rest of the Thunderbirds, not giving them any openings to work with. They're not buying WPI some space to work with. And the crab finds one, it's a nice find, and WPI, maybe they'll push along the tower. Yeah,
so they're going to go here for this first checkpoint as the members are trying to push up and prevent their tower rider from getting pressured here. But yeah, Garrett here on the splash is just trying to support with the teammates that are also moving up here while paying for that crab especially. Crab, even though it's been nerfed, it's still very powerful.
Yeah, always a good choice to have the crab. Still, as you mentioned, even with the nerfs, the crab is still definitely strong enough. 3 members have dropped from WPI. The Thunderbirds, they're still saying, okay, go. 3 members down every time. And the Thunderbirds, they're trying to push the tower yet again. WPI having to respawn.
Yeah, so instead of double crab, it's double hammer on Thunderbird's side. And they're just trying to loop hammers here to be able to just maintain the pressure here. Yeah, oh my goodness, a lot of pressure is being put on here. Frosta and Garrett need to watch out here as they're the last ones alive. Oh, Garrett getting a double here, being able to just prevent any more pressure from being put even further into the spawn with the crab coming out. Okay, yeah. Wow, everyone on Thunderbird just goes down, and Worcester Polytechnic Institute is going to be able to retake mid, it seems like.
Yeah, WPI, they do retake mid, they do get some control back, but Florida Gulf Coast, they get 40 points remain. They were able to take it down to 60 points captured in, and right now for WPI, there's still plenty of time, really 1 minute 30 seconds, nothing to scoff at. Well, they do lose 2, but it's a trade of 2 for 2 on both sides here, and right now, they are trying to get past through here. WPI are trying to set up for the offense. And right now they do lose Mr. L on Florida Gulf Coast. Not looking too strong right now. Can they find more? It's 2 members down. It's 2 members down. WPI might take the lead here, but they're trying to focus on pressuring out the Thunderbirds.
Yeah, okay, so they're oh, Crab hops on tower, okay, yeah, it seems like the Crab here is just gonna try to hold out as much time as possible on tower here by going to that ball form, and they get to take the lead here in the last minute!
Yes, WPI, they do take the lead in the last minute, but they do drop 3 Thunderbirds. Nice hold, and they do wipe them out. This is going to give the Thunderbirds time to set up. They want to take control of mid, definitely pressure out the rest of WPI as much as they can, try to build themselves some space. Marsh on the hammer. Marsh takes out 1. It is going to go down to 1-for-1 trade and 2-for-2.
Gary, you gonna shut him down like usually. Oh my goodness. Oh, wow. Okay. Things are getting tight here. You get to punish this jump here, it seems, and then Worcester Polytechnic has to stop this tower from coming in before they lose the lead here. Oh my goodness. 2! People are jumping like flies on Thunderbirds with Worcester Polytechnic just holding their strong ground here.
Yeah, right now, WPI, they're holding strong right now. That was the greatest defense they had, and now Garrett's gonna pop the Crab Tank, trying to pressure out the rest of the Thunderbirds. The Thunderbirds are down 1 member. That is a good chunk of their offense. It's 2 down. All that WPI needs to do, they need to be on that tower. They wipe them out. They will do it.
Oh my gosh, Keon. Did you see what I just saw?
I sure did. That was WPI taking home the tower control map. It's 1-0 in favor of WPI. I mean, let's reset back here a bit. In the beginning, it was the Thunderbirds just went okay go. They take out 3 members of WPI back and back again. WPI stayed resilient. They once they won all the fights in the late game, WPI with that lead swap, all they need to do just defend the tower as much as they can. They did just that.
Yeah, you love to see Splatoon, right? Because as strong as much power they held for majority of that game, right? All it takes is 1 good push to be able to ruin that and flip the game all over its head. And the deeper you go, the harder it is to flip it around. And Worcester Polytechnic Institute managed to scratch that right in there at the very end, man. The clock was ticking, and they managed to find a way to not only defend their spawn, but as well as get a good tower push there.
It's a great push all around from WPI, and they take home map 1. We're gonna be queuing into map 2, which is Wahoo World Rainmaker and Neptune. What can you tell us about this map combination?
Wahoo World Rainmaker is one of those things that's very finicky, right? I feel like range is one of those things that's very important, especially on this map, because from a distance, right, you can pop the Rainmaker shield from middle, right, and gain yourself quite a bit of control towards center. But the rotating what's it called, plats or whatnot, right? Being able to just go up the side and come into mid whenever you want can allow some sneaky entrance ways for either team, right? And all just comes down to, like most of this game, teamwork, finding your openings, taking stuff together, and holding your ground. Wahoo World is one of those things, like first checkpoint isn't too bad, but second checkpoint can definitely get really rough around the edges.
I mean, and there's also the checkpoint locations. You could see both these teams. You could go right. It is a very risky proposition, but definitely a fun one if they want to go that route. Definitely the left path for that checkpoint, possibly the safest, as both teams are loading in here in Wahoo World Rainmaker. Florida Gulf Coast will
sticking with their standard traditional double hammer comp. And the Wiper comes out on Worcester Polytechnic Institute's side here, along with the Nautilus. Okay, Keon, what do you expect to see here, given these comps?
I mean, the Wiper is getting a quick resurgence again. Well, it's probably, if it wasn't resurgent before, it's back again, and the Wiper is definitely a more popular pick that we've been seeing, especially factoring the recent patch as expected. Okay. I just saw the hammer take out a few members already. What we are seeing here is a push.
3 is dropped down so far, and it seems like the first checkpoint's gonna go. Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
it's only a minute into the game.
Only a minute to the game, and again, Florida Gulf Coast, the same script is being followed. They have slammed it home for that first checkpoint. They might be making this a quick Rainmaker here. I'm gonna be curious to see how the rest of this pans out. You know what? This may not be a bad time to check what's going on in the comms right now. Let's see what we expect to see from Florida Gulf Coast.
Thing. I kill Mrs. L.
Alright, Cameron, watch out.
Get that guy. Mars. Bro.
Okay, I'm gonna back up. Yeah, I just run. They're all going mid. They're all going mid.
Okay, yeah.
Crab. I heard a crab.
Pop,
Disengage.
pop, pop, pop.
Yeah, I'm not gonna engage.
Okay, yeah, it's fine.
Yep. I'm kind of forcing the corner over here.
Yeah, you know, I'm with you.
I'm just zoning a little bit. Okay,
Got
Nice.
him.
Force him out.
nice. Okay. Alright. Alright,
Run
I'm
him to
gonna
left.
get some zone as well.
Yeah, sir.
Hammer.
Okay, cool.
Oh, that's weird.
What the fuck? How?
Got
I
one?
literally didn't see him. Like, I didn't see him.
Jump to you, March.
Okay. Alright, I lived back around. Alright, I have wave breaker.
That's fine.
Oh,
One's low, one's low. Dead, okay,
Crab
cool.
fell down.
Okay. Alright, do you want to go left side? Oh,
Yeah, we're going left.
Crap, crap, crap,
Get him,
crap.
get him, get him. Okay. I'm gonna wave breaker.
Well,
Alright, wave breaker up here. Alright. Push through if you can. Push through,
Got
push
one.
through.
I can't. There's one by me.
Okay, okay, I'm coming back.
Got one.
He's low,
I'm
he's low,
gonna
he's
die
low,
in
he's
a
low,
second.
he's low, he's low.
I'm gonna
Just
blow
go,
up
just
in a
go as
second.
fast as
One
possible.
behind me, one behind me.
Yeah, yeah, go, 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 go. Oh,
Alright, that's
shoot,
fine.
my
I've got to
bad,
blow
my
up.
bad.
I've got to blow it.
Pop,
Yeah,
pop,
Get
pop, pop,
pop.
pop.
I mean, Neptune, Florida Gulf Coast, you can hear the comms just slightly definitely control as much as they can. In fact, it was so controlled, they wasted no time and already slammed it home. Man,
Yeah.
Florida Gulf Coast have with control of the Rainmaker the entire way through, and they will be on the board.
Yeah, it was really unfortunate for Worcester Polytechnic Institute. They weren't able to find their footing after that first soft wipe at the start there, and FGCU were just able to just take advantage of that fully and just have full map control of Wahoo World here because, how do I say it? It's an uphill battle even though they're firing down. It is very difficult to come back here on Wahoo World, especially with those specials just being called out like from FGC Thunderbirds, right? And just being able to just shut them down before they're able to cause too much damage.
And I'm sure a lot of the Thunderbirds members were you're definitely hearing along the comms. Okay, trying to figure out which way to go. Now you hear that comm, which direction they were definitely going to be committing to, and they were able to stick to it. And yeah, they did drop the Rainmaker for a quick second. Well, they wasted no time to immediately pop it back up and slam it home for the finisher. We're gonna queue into this third map. It's Mako Mark Clam Blitz. This one has some opinions. For me personally, not the greatest ones. But what do you think, Neptune?
I think Mako marks a Splatoon 2 classic here, and with Clam Blitz in the mode just like the map being just very small in general, both teams are able to get a lot of pushing opportunities, right? It's kind of really hard to lock out on this map because while spawn is obviously very easily accessible, there are still lots of options to approach in, poke in, get your specials painted, being able to push back here and just have a more neck and neck thing versus the typical snowball thing that usually happens on these Splatoon 3 maps here. But you know what? I'm interested to see what the Grizzco workers here are going to be pulling out here. I know Thunderbirds, they found their comfort seat here with this comp and just going to be playing that what seems for the rest of the night. But you know what? Grizzco's working. They have some more unconventional picks here that might be coming out here. And you know what? I'm all down for it. I love to see experimentation, especially after a new patch is dropped.
I absolutely agree. I love to see teams experiment, trying to go with unconventional picks you don't normally see often here. And maybe they might dish out a few of them here and make them our Clam Blitz, as we mentioned. Florida Gulf Coast sticking with their usual ones. And
the
well,
Octo Brush and Reflux.
We've seen both varieties of the bow. Now we got the Octobrush mixed in. Neptune, do you kind of like what you're seeing here from WPI's composition?
You know what? This is a very fast comp if you look here because, you know, the Reflux is able to paint quite a bit, get those missiles up to allow entrance ways, and this Octobrush here is going to be able to cause a lot of damage on this map, especially with how many different ways you can approach. But no, Logo is just going to say no to the Octobrush shenanigans there with that heavy slatling and being able to move up and form Power Clam already. First put. Oh, okay. The hammer just got shut down, and the missiles come in and do so much damage. Look at that. Nearly everyone fell down. It was a bloodbath there towards the Blambless basket there over by Grizzco Worker Union side.
Yeah, Florida Gulf Coast, they wanted to hit go again in the first minute, but they only cashed in on the Power Clam, so that's just going to spawn the free Power Clam, and they have 2 Power Clams online. Look at the Clam economy from WPI. They take out Ron. Ron goes down, and now it's 2 members now.
Special on, they're going to be coordinating. Oh, goodness.
Oh, my goodness.
The Booyah Bomb's going to come out from Frost over here, just going to be able to slam dunk it right into their spawn here, along with some of these clams.
Oh my goodness, they're able to catch it not just on both power clams, they're still keeping this push going. This is a big push from WPI right now. Garrett and the rest of the crew, they're able to catch it on board. It's 33 points remaining, and that basket is still open.
Yeah, Thunderbirds here seems to be regaining their footing, and they're not going to be able to get too much here, but that hurt a lot. Nearly 70 points were scored on Grizzco Worker Union side, but you know what? Let's see how FGC Thunderbirds is going to be able to retaliate with this. Like, specials are coming up online, but as we saw before, missiles were able to shoot. No! That's not going to happen here! The Heavy's going to have to jump out and back up! No! Okay, it seems like another push is going to be coming here from Grizzco Worker Union here.
Yeah, the timing of that power clam was a little bit slow there, which allowed the rest of Florida Gulf Coast to quickly spawn in. But as soon as I say that, though, Florida Gulf Coast, they lose too. What WPI is not missing a step. They're able to cash in on 2 power clams already. They're down to 23 points remaining. 8 more for the KO if they can keep this basket alive. And right now, WPI, they're still trying to push up ahead, but nope, not anymore. It's gonna be a hold by Florida Gulf Coast.
Yeah, just to do a little bit of talk about this comp analysis here. A DC?
Oh no!
Oh no!
But here's the thing though, it's 1 member down from WPI, so I'm curious to see if they're gonna play this one, or if it's already past the DC mark. We'll have to wait and see. But they're gonna cash it on both. As we're about to see. Yes, I think it is within rules, and they're playing it out. All right, understood. Understood. Ooh, there, okay. And right now, the rest of Florida Gulf Coast, they do have the lead as we speak. In fact, it's a total wipeout there, and it will be Florida Gulf Coast, 17 points remaining. I mean, really, if you're WPI, how do you keep your head in the game with that DC?
There is still 2 minutes left on the clock here, and you know what? If the Worcester Polytechnic Institute is able to get like the picks that they saw, like the triple kills, okay, like right now, they might be able to stand a chance here and might be able to bring this down all the way down to time, or whether someone scores into the basket and clears out all those points.
Yeah, Florida Gulf Coast, you know that there is going to be a member down, and at this point, for Florida Gulf Coast, all you got to do, cash in on a few more. Make sure you don't give WPI an opening to work with, because look at the points in that penalty box. Well, I'll cover that later. As Florida Gulf Coast, they've broken the barrier.
Yeah, it's another wipeout here with 3 players, and
oh man.
Okay.
Oh man.
You know what? That hammer toss was dirty, okay? Way to rub salt in the wound there from a respawn. No less when the disconnect has happened here. But unfortunately, a disconnect happens here. And that game that was so in Worcester Polytechnic Institute's favor falls to Thunderbirds.
Yeah, that's just a very untimely DC too. It was a big lead, and Florida Gulf Coast spawned multiple power clams, and were able to swing the lead back. WPI's momentum just completely got lost in the middle of all that, and at the end of the day, the Thunderbirds, they lead this set 2-1, and really, Neptune, if you're WPI, I mean, how do you reset after that DC and
honestly, it's going to take a lot of mental strength, because some of these players here, at least I'm more familiar with them, are new to competitive play, and having a situation like this where it's very untimely, unfortunate, especially when the lead was just in your hands being ripped away for you, it's going to be really hard to just mentally bounce back into the game, right? Thunderbirds here took advantage of the situation here because, you know, that's how the rules work. But just like, even still, Worcester Polytechnic Institute needs to find their footing here and just being able to bounce back, because while the fast moving comp was working, right, it all kind of just fell out towards the end there because, you know, one of the key slayers on their team, with the brush finding all those like flanks and just openings, right, to be able to take advantage from and take clamps to the basket, dropped. So it's just one of those things of, what do we do now with our synergy, right? Essentially, one player's out of the game, and there's one less player just giving callouts, one less player doing active specials. It's one of those things that's just very hard to adapt to in the situation, if you know what I mean. Yep,
for sure. But everybody has to mentally reset here. Florida Gulf Coast, they take advantage of the situation. They go up 2-1. WPI gotta reset back, prepare for the next map here, which eventually they might start queuing up here, but it will be Flounder Heights splat zones. That'll be the next one queued up here shortly.
Yeah, Flounder Heights splat zones is one of those things I feel like can get pretty lockdown heavy because, you know, Flounder's Heights, right? You know, it's called Flounder's Heights for a reason, right? And usually having the vertical advantage on your opponents is something that is, well, very strong here. So whoever gets the first splat zone and able to maintain control of the zones for a majority of the time, I feel is going to be able to take home this match here, especially given the momentum that we see from both these teams.
Oh yeah, definitely. And really with this map being as long and heavy as it is, and then the fact you're basically just climbing on. There are multiple ways really to attack both of those zones too that teams are gonna have to adjust for. But where the zones are located is gonna be a little fun, I'll say, to attack.
Yeah, definitely here. I'm kind of interested to see if the comps are going to change on Grizzco's for Canadian side, or are they just going to try and stick with that really fast-moving comp there, because it seems like Thunderbirds just couldn't find an answer in the time limit until the drop happened. But you know what? Let's see how these teams are going to be able to clash here on these heights of Flounders.
Yeah, for sure. Everybody's gonna have to deal with the fun that is Flounder Heights here, as both teams are going to be coming in. I mean, Grizzco Workers Union, they have changed compositions in between each of these maps. As you mentioned, I think the fast moving comp, it has definitely worked in their favor. They could look to continue that. They may also have another trick up their sleeves here, Flounder Heights zones, and I'm gonna be curious to see if they have another trick, or they realize, okay, maybe this fast comp with the Octobrush from the previous map might actually work out for us.
Yeah, the missiles also from the reflux there were also put in a lot of damage. Do you see how it completely
definitely
shut down that first push that was attempted by Thunderbirds? They were already pushed in, and then since all four of them were nearly locked on, right? It just completely denied the clam basket area, and Worcester Polytechnic Institute was just able to capitalize that. But here we go into game number 4 on Flounders Heights Splat Zones, and the reflux is going to stay, but the splash is coming back out.
So they swap out the Octobrush with the Splash. Definitely, I think it's a very fine choice for sure, because you do have the Crab Tank can have so much coverage to work with here. And really, the moment we continue to speak, both teams are already captured both of these zones. Really, it's stuck in neutral right now. And for Florida Gulf Coast, their offense is just predicated after that first minute. They just go very aggressive, in your face each time. And right now, WPI, they're just trying to keep protection of the zone. Marsh does drop, though.
Yeah, Marsh is able to drop here, and honestly, a lot of this is just going to come down to slaying those Splatlings here, because with this comp right here, it's moving really fast, but it doesn't have the most range here, so it all just comes down to how well you're going to be able to punish these Splatlings here, because while Splatling is such a great weapon here, and does have its weaknesses, this comp is definitely going to have to rely on their special to be able to take them down.
Oh yeah, definitely. And we do see members dropping. This is probably going to be a great time to hear what Florida Gulf Coast has cooking now that they have points remaining. Taking down, let's see what Florida Gulf Coast has going on.
Ah, dang it.
Okay, I see one to the right, one
sloshing.
to the right. Yeah, sloshing machine. They're trying to missling me. Booyah bomb, watch out.
Watch out.
My ears itchy.
They got you. Okay.
I traded with one.
Alive. Okay,
Yeah,
I'm just gonna jump back.
Yeah, jump back. I don't like that spot.
Wait,
Daniel,
Mr.
slow down.
Rebecca.
Daniel, slow down.
Yep.
Yeah, they're coming.
Yeah,
Just run. They're gonna try to kill you.
Oh, yeah. They're coming. Yo, kill this guy.
Got him.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, as you heard there from FGC, they were not expecting Worcester Polytechnic Institute to push back the way they did, and now there's a penalty for them with only 51 points to their name left.
Oh yeah, definitely. And right now, the rest of Florida Gulf Coast, they are able to wrestle both those control back, though. And actually, 3 members down on WPI. Florida Gulf Coast, they should be able to push their advantages even further, trying to make sure that they can pressure up any entries that WPI may have. And now they're taking down on those penalty points right now. The hammer toss not finding anybody, but that should be okay. Tripling strike for coverage.
Yeah, there are so many specials that just got tossed out from Thunderbird's side to be able to pin WPI back into this little spawn corner here, but no,
Specials.
some other specials are going to become online here, and you can see the Ultra Stip actually doing something for once. Okay, it is not the same joke as it was the last patch here. You gotta somewhat respect it now. It does still have its weaknesses, obviously. You can still shoot it from the side, but facing it on a head-on fight, I've noticed it's just it's able to block shots a little bit more reliably now, and able to turn a little bit easier, and it's just generally a little bit stronger of a special that can be a lot more present and more of a threat.
I think we're gonna see a lot more Ultra Stamp shenanigans, especially factoring in this new patch here. Florida Gulf Coast actually takes out 3 members, only the Wiper alive, and that Wiper is going down a delayed wipeout. Florida Gulf Coast again back in the driver's seat with the points remaining. They're taking down those penalty points right now, and WPI, they're still having a hard time getting off the base as Frost does drop. Down, where does Marsh? Marsh finds another member. Thunderbirds out of the penalty points. 2 members down for WPI right now.
Yeah, the missiles are going to come out here, but, like, it's not going to help out, unfortunately. It doesn't seem like they were able to get too many locked down, but Frost is going to be able to find one more pick along with Garrett, and they have to make something happen here fast. There's only 17 points left remaining, but no, the crab gets picked off, and this is going to be extremely difficult to come back for, but looks like Worcester Polytechnic is trying everything in their power to recapture the zone and make sure this game goes on right into overtime.
Yeah, what WPI just did right there, 3 members of the Thunderbirds did drop, which allowed WPI an opening to at least get both of those zones, and they were able to do just that because Florida Gulf Coast were trying to roar back and capture both those zones right away as 2 members really on both teams.
Oh, that crab got shut down!
Yeah, the crab dropped! That is huge! Florida Gulf Coast shutting down the crab, and right now back down to the minute left, and right now the big bubbler is going to be online, but 2 members on WPI dropped. Florida Gulf Coast with the advantage. Florida Gulf Coast, really, they just need to hang on.
Yeah, they just need to hang on here. 50 more seconds on the clock here. They might be able to get the knockout here, but at this point, all that matters is controlling the mid and keeping Grizzco's working union outside of it. But you know what? If Grizzco's worker union is able to recapture the zone, they have a solid chance of perhaps taking it a little bit more and might have a chance to come back. Though it is very slim.
Yeah, but they're able to take down those penalty blanks. WPI just need a quick opening. They're able to neutralize one of the zones at the very least. But Florida Gulf Coast gets it back. It is just going to be an all-out brawl here. 2 members did drop, though. They just respawned. The zones are still stuck in neutral. The crab tank has been popped, and it's 2 members down. 3 members down. They have a huge. They have a chance. There is so many points they have to get out of right now.
Oh my gosh. Are my eyes deceiving me? Is this going to go into overtime and Grizzco's working union going to try and do what they did, what they were feeling the entire game, just being trapped in spawn?
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see though. They have to hold both of these zones. They can't afford to lose too many members though. Both these zones they can't afford to lose. And right now the buoy bomb is being popped out, but it's 2 members down on both sides. It's still, I believe, favoring WPI. In fact, 3 members do drop. It is definitely favoring WPI. And they total 1-1. They're taking it right now.
Oh my goodness! Oh, okay, this is not good because they need specials to be able to push, and they're both members. But Mark's gonna be able to try and see if he can stick him around the side. Oh my goodness!
Yeah, they flanked though, but they are able to recap one of the zones. Oh, it's 3 members now. All Gulf Coast. You have to. All
that's gonna expire! Oh no! Oh, that was really good game sense on Marsh there because they kind of realized Workers Union was being really heavy on their spawn uppers plat. But no, they just be able to sneak by and use those flank routes that Flounder Heights has available to you and just be able to stall the zone and let overtime run its course.
I mean, that was very scary from Florida Gulf Coast. They almost, you could see just the points ticking down as quick as it did, and WPI, they were winning a lot of those fights during overtime. But again, as you mentioned, perfect game sense from Marsh. I believe Marsh was the one that took out one of the zones and neutralized it, which allowed the OT timer to keep ticking down on WPI, and WPI just didn't have enough time to capture both those zones. Match point for Florida Gulf Coast. They're loading on to the next map, which is Hammerhead Tower Control. Any thoughts on this map combination?
Yeah, actually, Hammerhead sucks. Talking opinion, I know here, but you know what? I think this could be very interesting given like the compositions here, and while the heavy is probably the most range they have on Thunderbird side, Worcester Polytechnic Institute does have the most range I think I've seen from the team was either a Nautilus or a Tri-Stringer, so definitely going to be interesting to see whether they're just going to try and back up with that range here, or they're just going to try and see if they can keep going with their fast comp there. The fast comp seems to be working, and it's able to just like scrape out at the times that Thunderbirds don't want to happen, right when they're able to get a massive control of the zone and bleed into those last few points, right? They just came back there and just able to spam a lot of their specials, just throw them down on the table and just be able to get a good comeback there. But as you saw before, they were able to adapt to that situation and be able to stop it from going even further out of control.
Most definitely, and you mentioned with the range here from Hammerhead Tower Control just a bit earlier, as they're actually just about to queue in. I wouldn't be surprised if they're going back to the splash though. This is the map I think that does heavily favor a lot more range because it's just so wide open. Will open the entire way through for Hammerhead. Don't be surprised if we do see that splash-o-matic from Grizzco Workers Union. But I could be proven wrong. They could have other tricks up their sleeves, but maybe they might stick to conventional.
The
well,
Nova is coming out here.
Hi Nova.
Hi Nova. Hi Nova. Welcome to Division 2. How are you?
But hey.
You know what? We've seen a lot of unconventional picks here from Grizzco's working unit, but let's see how this Nova picks goes. It got buffs recently to be able to just paint a lot more frequently, or sorry, more efficiently, and just being able to support its team members with the point sensor here. Oh my goodness. Okay, it is a bloodbath here in mid, and Marsh is pressuring this Nova here with the Ultra Stamp of all things, and going to be able to take out this Crab. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, Marsh is striking again. What is going on here? Marsh is still continuing to take on a few members, I believe. And there's even more. The perfect force bombs, bro. Could we find even more? Could the Legend of Marsh strike again? Yes.
Legend of Marsh seems to be the thing here. When you hear that thunder roar, it's got to be Marsh coming in. But hey, you know what? The towers, two tower checkpoints are already down. It's already just a minute into the game here. How is Grizzco working and going to be able to counteract this, considering all the specials are just coming online for Thunderbirds here?
Yeah. This is gonna have to be a big response for WPI. They just found it. It's 3 members down. I mean, Marsh was enabling so much more out of that, just finding members left and right out of WPI, and they were able to take it down to 24 points remaining onto the 3rd checkpoint. And right now, WPI still a lot of time, but they got a lot of work ahead of them.
Yeah, definitely here. Riding the tower here with the Tri-Striker is definitely very advantageous since you can get a lot of picks like that. Right here, Miss L is being able to show off some of the capabilities of the Tri-Striker here, being able to just pressure a lot, but like in these situations where things start to get onto tower and get very finicky without the help of teammates to be able to stay on it.
Definitely here. Tri-Striker having to escape a bit there. The range was just too much, and they are able to take it down to 66 points remain, but they just cleared out the first checkpoint, it appears, and right now, Florida Gold Coast looking to just reset here and now taking the tower once again, trying to enable another push, but they went too deep!
Yeah, the Fizzy Bomb was able, if you guys didn't see what happened there, the Fizzy Bomb interacted with the big bubbler over there, and it was just able to automatically set off all 3 of its explosions.
Yeah, and I was saying, what too? Marsh was able to take out even more members. Although the rest of the Thunderbirds they did go down, so it just resets the tower just a bit there, and at the very least, it did give the Thunderbirds time to recuperate. And 2 members down for WPI. Thunderbirds on the driver's seat. They take out 3.
Yeah, they're going to be approaching this 3rd checkpoint here right after reaching a wipeout here. They have specials online, and they are ready to push in and just finish this game, it seems like.
Yeah, and they're just past that 3rd checkpoint. WPI, do they have a response right now? They gotta touch the tower. It's 3 members down. Florida Gulf Coast, and they are totally wiped them out.
It's a wipeout.
This is gonna be the set victory for the Florida Gulf Coast Thunderbirds. It's 2 straight in this big run.
Yep, the run continues on here, and this snowball that they've created has seemed to be keep on going. And while some of these teams are able to give them a run for their money, they come out on top here.
I mean, Florida Gulf Coast, the offense was just go, go, go in the first 4 maps. But what I've seen here in this 5th map, they were definitely slowing it down just a bit. They were just waiting on Marsh to start capitalizing on a lot of picks. And boy, Marsh capitalized on so many in that Hammerhead Tower Control map. The Legend of Marsh continued on to another chapter there. And yeah, Florida Gulf Coast, they win this set 4-1. They are 2-0 so far in this season.
Yep. Definitely Marsh's prowess here as a top player is definitely showing here, because even though it might be hard to like get pushes in against like a team of 4, right? A mechanically skilled player, as well as good game sense, right, is able to just secure like multiple kills and just enable their team to be able to move forward, right? That's what makes a good Slayer. A good Slayer is not one that at just goes 13-1 and calls it a day. Of course, that's a good job, but like the Slayer that protects their teammates and prevents those deaths from happening and enabling them to take positions that they want safely and easily, it is definitely something that Marsh shows in spades.
Really, Marsh enabled a lot of the opportunities that Florida Gulf Coast had, just taking out members left and right. Yes, Florida Gulf Coast, sure, they may have dropped a few there in terms of fighting, but they kept going. Florida Gulf Coast, they were definitely still pushing their offense forward, and again, a lot of it enabled by Marsh, who just had excellent sense. And I want to give a shout out to him again. I know we keep talking about Marsh, but it really kind of just showed the kind of set that Marsh had altogether. Especially that I want to note that overtime in Founder Heights splat zones, where he just takes control of one of the zones, and then the OT timer just kept ticking down.
Yeah, definitely. He's able to just slip past there, and no one in Grizzco's working were able to get that and respond fast enough in order to some of his plays here. Kind of shows just like how much time and effort he's been putting into these games, and definitely is someone to look up to and be inspired by. But I do want to give a shout out to Grizzco working unit and playing through all these games, right? They had their moments, right, where they just threw down everything on the table and just said, no, we are going to put up a fight here. We're not just going to roll over and die. And there's several points where they're just come back from seemingly impossible situations. Like, I'm thinking back that Flounders game, right? Yeah, that's just like the spawn was nearly entirely painted by Thunderbirds, and Grizzco worker units somehow find a way to just get those picks, get those specials, and just push all the way back in. And that is something that should definitely be commended for the team coordination synergy that must take to get out of those situations.
You want to know what I highlight about Grizzco Workers Union right now is that first map in tower control. You know how Florida Gulf Coast, they took out a good chunk of members from WPI, and then they were just rolling forward. But you know, WPI, they kept their cool that entire tower control map. They were able to run it back. 1 minute left to go. They take the lead, and now their focus was just defending it. Many there. I mean, Grizzco Workers Union, they definitely hung on as best as they could throughout a good chunk of those maps. I don't want to try to bring it up too much here, but yeah, the third map where they had the lead and then the unfortunate moment there happened. I mean, you kind of get the sense that maybe they may have seen the momentum kind of got lost a little bit here and there, but it is what it is. And Florida Gulf Coast, they took full advantage.
Yeah, definitely. And I think one of their abilities to capitalize off situations that like put Grizzco's worker union in disadvantage is probably some of their strongest showings here, definitely. Being able to just keep pressure up in like majority of the games, they can just keep control of middle. And unfortunately, this is not turf war where the last 30 seconds are going to be able to, but I say this as a Splatfest is happening right now, by the way. But you know what? Go Team Aliens. I'm just going to plug that in here. But you know what? Hey, it's a game you're going to be playing for the whole duration right here, and Thunderbird just managed to be able to hold on to that duration for majority of the games. And that's what at the end of the day led to their victories.
Definitely, and really, this Florida Gulf Coast right now, they have to continue on this big run. They got a third game ahead of them here, but the first two I want to just highlight here, just to quickly summarize. The first set against UH Premier was a 4-1. They were able to they even though they took a long time to start this season for them, they took all the way up to week 5. They were just out and running in the first set earlier today, and now this set here against WPI, they just wasted no time. Once they got themselves warmed up, they were just hitting go the rest of the way forward. And yeah, there were some hiccups here and there, but they didn't seem to phase them out too much.
Yeah, you gotta admit, they only got scratched one game from both UH Premier as well as Grizzco Worker Union. And yeah, and their hands are warmed up. You saw those VCEs when we dropped in there. Just
yeah.
They're live, they're active, they are ready, and they get loud and they get chaotic in there. They are ready. They're not messing around here. They want those W's, they are hungry for them, and definitely they are fishing for them.
Definitely here as we soon wait to see what the fate of this set continues on. I mean, they're still, the season's starting early for them. I want to take a quick dabble here on the standings here, Neptune, in terms of Division 2, especially with their side of the fence, and it looks like they actually might just be abandoning ship here as I look on screen. For just a moment here. For the Gulf Coast, they're already 2-0. The rest of Division 2A right now, they are pretty much tied with the opponent they're actually about to be coming up here, which is PAL 3.0. That upcoming set, by the way, Neptune, is going to be a lot of fun to watch for everybody who's going to be tuning in.
Definitely. PAL 3.0 has been one of those teams that have been definitely showing their strides here in Division 2, and definitely one of the more top dogs, I believe, given their win history so far. Let me just quickly double check here. I think it's they're 2-0 currently, so it's a 2-0-2-0 here with Thunderbirds here. So yeah, the teams that are undefeated supposedly in Division 2 are going to be able to fight it out, duke it out to see who keeps their flawless streak here. Regardless, someone's gonna have to have a little bit of a stain on their record.
Yeah, it's gonna be one of those sets where one team unfortunately has to have one loss in their record, but this is gonna be a battle for at least first in Division 2A. 2A here, and we'll be seeing it. We'll be seeing it up here in just about 15 minutes or so between the Florida Gulf Coast Thunderbirds and PAL 3.0. And really, Florida Gulf Coast, they still also have to play two more matchups outside of it. Those matchups will be looming large for them in terms of seeding and positioning, of course, in their respective divisions.
Absolutely. They've been putting in a lot of hard work, and these records are reflected in that. So, yeah, we do have one more game for tonight. Yep, and that's going to be Thunderbirds and PAL L3.0. Yep. So, oh, man. I'm just amazed by just how well Thunderbirds are being able to play, especially Marsh with some of those decision makings I know we talked about before. Man, I'm still stunned.
I think Marsh has just left us in awe the entire way through, and I think it started to show in this set and definitely in the previous one in that 5th map here. And I just enamored to see how the rest of Florida Gulf Coast how they can handle this third matchup here in PAL 3.0, which it will be coming up here in 15 minutes. But I think Neptune, I think we've covered as much as we could, so I think this could be our time to take a break or sign off here. Wouldn't you think?
Yeah, I think this is a good stopping point, and give a little bit of breathing room for everyone here. Just recuperate from the Marsh stamping that has been happening. Oh man, I swear those ultra stamps, man, they're being thrown. They're being brushed in, man. Dude, it's hammer time. That's what it is. The Thunderbirds. You hear that thunder roar? No, it's the hammer slamming down on the ground. That's the thunder's roar there.
My entire vision is just gonna be hammers and stamps the entire evening. It's just forever hammers and stamps. It's just gonna be one recurring dream after the other. But yeah, I think this will be our time to sign off here for both of us, Neptune and I. Neptune, thank you for being amazing on the mic as well. Where can people find you?
You can find me on both Twitch as well as Twitter, NEP2NE and an underscore at the end here. Yeah, sometimes I like to post some stuff, but you know what? Most of the time I'm just silent on there, so if you don't want to follow me, that's completely understandable. But Keon, where can the fine people of the CCA community find you?
Oh yeah, I am Keon2570. That is, yes, the 4 numbers you'll have to remember. You can find me on Twitter, of course. I just post a lot of random stuff out there. Sometimes occasional Splatoon, just other nonsense. You can also follow my Twitch. I stream not just Splatoon as well, but also other games. So you can hit that follow button on my Twitter and my Twitch whenever you guys can, or you know the drill. But otherwise, yeah, Neptune, thank you once again, Neptune. I do want to thank you again for being amazing on the mic. But that is going to do it for both of us. With Neptune, I'm Killen saying thank you guys for watching the set between Florida Gulf Coast and WPI. Stay tuned. At the top of the hour, you will be seeing Florida Gulf Coast Thunderbirds take on PAL 3.0 for a battle to see who will take first in Division 2A. But for now, we will see you guys in a bit.
See you guys soon.